Hello everybody and welcome to Channel 5 of The Wave, Greenville Public Access TV. As today we continue our series on our town as we take a look at those places that make Greenville, Ohio our town. We're in conjunction with Main Street Greenville as we continue our series talking to different businesses and shops up and down Broadway and a block either side. I'm Alex Warner along with videographer Nick Schmidt. Today we've come to Tangles Hair Salon here on South Broadway, and with us is the owner of the shop, or I should say the manager of the shop. This is Alicia Denniston. Alicia, let's talk just a little bit. How long has Tangles been in this location?
We have been downtown for 7 years.
Okay. And as 7 years, were you anyplace else before coming down here?
We were down on Wagner Avenue for 3, so this August will be open 10 years.
And was that across from the Y, I think, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
in Rich Worthington's building,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how long have you been involved in this kind of business?
I've been doing hair for 13 years.
You started right out of what, high school then, pretty much?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then where did you take your training and everything?
I went to school at Moeller Pickens. It was in Fairfield, Ohio.
Okay. Well, are you from around Darke County originally? Where'd you go to high school and everything?
I went to high school at Massanutten Valley.
Oh, you're one of those Blackhawks up there, huh? You're one of those Blackhawks. Okay. So what made you interested in getting into this as a profession?
I have always wanted to do hair ever since I was a very little girl. It's always been a dream of mine. And my mom, she always wanted to have her own salon, and it was kind of a dream of hers. So it started late in life, but she made that happen. So,
You know, I just noticed something. Let's hold this up here. She loves having scissors, so I assume that scissors is in cutting hair.
yes, yes.
I'm pretty observant on that stuff, huh? Yeah. So anyhow, so we put this shop down. How'd you happen to locate from out on Wagner, which has a lot of traffic flow? How'd you happen to end up back down in downtown Greenville then?
Mom has always wanted to be downtown. We like the downtown atmosphere, and a building came up, and we wanted to grow. And I started off with 3 stylists and 1 nail tech, and now I have 5 stylists and 2 nail techs and an esthetician. So we've really grown. We're like a full salon now and spa.
Now, here's a word that most people maybe aren't familiar with. An esthetician, what is that?
She does skincare. She does facials and anything to do with your skin, waxing, and she does massages, body wraps, things like that.
Yeah, and I noticed because you have not only the hair care products, but I see you've got like lipstick and some different makeup and things of that nature, right?
We do makeup and all that kind of things.
And you've got a lot more space here than you had out on Wagner Avenue, right? So you've expanded quite rapidly.
Expanded a lot, yes.
Would you say most of your clientele, what percent is male that comes in here? I'm assuming you're what, 95% female or not?
No, I would say we're pretty 50-50. I mean, we do.
Wow.
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's quite a few guys coming in here then. Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go around here and talk to some of the other women that work here as stylists and some other things, learn a little bit more about the services you offer, then we'll come back and kind of finish things up with you in a little bit, okay?
Great. Thank you.
Okay, so once again, we're here at Tangles as you watch our town here. Back at Tangles here on South Broadway, and with us is Casey Widener. And Casey, let's talk just a little bit about your background, where you're from, and then what all you do here and how you got involved in this.
I grew up in the Ansonia area, then went to school in Indiana for aesthetics and the nail care. Been doing it for over 8 years in the salon industry.
And then, so you not only got your license as a cosmetologist, hairstylist, but then did you have to have some, I assume you had extra training and to do the other things you do here as far as the nail work and aesthetics and things of that nature, right?
Yeah, I actually do not have a cosmetology license. I strictly went for aesthetics and the skincare, and then for the manicurist for nails only.
I assume you had to do a lot of like facial anatomy classes and things of that nature, and then also what, some of the chemicals and stuff that you have to use and things of that nature?
Chemistry, anatomy, periodic table, anything you can imagine to go along with it.
And how long you say you've been doing this then?
A little over 8 years professionally.
Okay, now has it always been at Tangles, or are you newcomer to Tangles, or what?
I've been with Tangles 4 years now. I started with this industry in Indiana, so I worked over there at a medical spa before coming over here.
So then let's talk a little bit, because, and I know a lot of you people out there know this, some of the guys probably don't, and we'll talk a little bit about manicures, pedicures. Which one do you do more of?
Oh, that's hard to say. They're pretty.
That's why I ask it.
They're pretty equal. They balance out.
Okay. Of course, then a manicure is the hands. So somebody walks in and says, hey, you know, I'd like to have you do something with my hands. Give me a manicure. So what's the first thing you look at, and then kind of walk us through what you do?
I will talk to the client about what they do for a living, what they're looking for, what they want to accomplish, and I will then go from there about what we can accomplish together professionally and personally so they come out with being a happy client.
Now, do a lot of men come in for that, or is that mostly females?
I would say majority females, but I do have a good following of male clientele. I use more manly scents on them, not the girly stuff, so they feel more comfortable, and theirs is a lot more massaging. Of course, they don't get polish.
I was wondering about that. Well, do you have some of your little tools you maybe use to do, say, a manicure with? Let's take a look at what we've got over here. We'll kind of swing around a little here. This stuff looks a little bit scary here, folks. I'm not sure. Well, so somebody comes in, what's the very first thing you do? After you've talked to them, you've kind of figured out what they wanted. So what's the first thing you're going to do with them?
I am going to put a cuticle solution on their cuticles to push them back, to soften them up, trim them if they need it.
Now, is the cuticle the part at the top of the nail then?
It is this back round part here where people get hangnails, so winter's pretty rough.
Okay. Okay, so that solution softens things up then so you can get in and work with that. Okay, so we've cleaned up all the cuticles, and I mean all 4 fingers plus the thumb, right?
Yep,
Okay.
both hands.
So what do we do next then after you've got that kind of pushed back out of the way?
I will go over what kind of nail shape they want or length, and we use a file majority for that to shape up, to shorten. We also have clippers if needed, if they're thick or longer. This pushes back their cuticles.
That looks like somebody better know what they're doing when they use this.
Yeah, it just pushes it back. It helps clean out if they have dirt underneath them if they're a gardener.
Those files that you talk about, they come like in different things, like sandpaper comes in different, whatever you call it,
Yeah,
roughness or
grits.
texture, grits. Yeah, so those are the same way?
Yeah, we use one side that's a little bit more for just shaping so it don't tear the nail up. And then we have more of a grittier side if they have thicker, harder nails, especially on the toes.
Okay.
This is for my men.
So the men, then basically what you've just described is what you've done then, and they talk about like different, I'm a chiropractor, so I can't keep my nails long because I've got my hands wrapped around people's necks and I don't want to scratch anybody.
Right.
Other people could probably get away with a little longer nail length, correct?
Correct. That's why I always consult with them about what they do for a living so we can make sure that they have the nails that they want and it don't interfere with what they do day to day.
Okay, so that takes us pretty much through where you'd stop with a man then, right? You put anything on, like keratin, of course, is, what's the nail's made of.
Right.
Do you put things on? Some people have soft nails that crack easily, so you use a solution on that when you're done, or what?
We have different nail types as far as polishes, acrylics, that can help with that if they can't grow them out. We can go more of a natural route or more of like with the artificial nail, just depending what they're going for.
Okay. So a man mainly would go to that step, and then you take it on through with women, putting different things on, and then you apply the polish then too?
They also get a scrub and a mask and a massage with hot towels.
Talk me about the scrub. Scrubbing the nails? Or you mean,
Hands and arms.
what do you scrub? What do you scrub that with?
We have an almond scrub. It feels like a sugar scrub, so it has
Okay.
a little grit to it, help exfoliate, soften, brighten the skin. Then we put an illuminating almond mask on that we massage into them just to relax them, take some stress out.
So the mask is just like another layer of, okay. I was thinking something on their face like cucumber slices or
Very
something.
similar, but it can be used on your arms and hands too.
Okay, so we get them through that, and then you do the polish and everything after that?
Yes.
Okay. And you use what kind of products? I saw you have some OPI or something up there, right?
We use OPI. We have the C&D shellac, which is the originators of the gel polish that's really popular right now. We use an OPI acrylic system as well.
So that takes care of that. And then I've seen, women come in to the office or around town, and they've got like little stars on their fingers, and they've got, stars and stars. They got all sorts of different appliques or something like that, or what is that?
We freehand our nail art here. So
wow.
everything is, I would call, an original. People bring in photos, especially off of Pinterest and Instagram, which is real popular right now, and we can mock it and help them customize it to their own. But yeah, we have fun with that.
I was going to say, because I sometimes hear they almost got like little beads or something on there and things of that nature.
Caviar manicures.
Caviar, man. Caviar is in like caviar you eat kind of thing?
Looks like it.
It's high price? Okay. It's like the little eggs of caviar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that kind of takes care of some of this stuff. Then also, do you do false fingernails?
The acrylics, yes.
That's what the acrylics are. See, I'm a rookie at this, so
That
that's what
started out, yeah, that originated back with the acrylics they put on teeth for dental. That's what OPI originated for, was a dental company.
Okay, so we've got this set up for the manicure. Let's talk about the pedicure, because these chairs kind of fascinate me here. It looks like a combination of like a whirlpool and whatever else here. So somebody comes in and who does pedicures? I mean, is it mostly women? I mean, is it people that have trouble with their toes, or what do you have here?
Wide variety, whether it be more of a mature clientele that just can't trim them themselves because of arthritis or other needs, we help with that. A lot of diabetics do come in, depending on theirs. Young girls from 2-3 years old come in with their moms and just want to have a girls' day.
Okay.
You know, so anything in summer, cruises, we see that when it's starting to warm up, just to make them look nice.
How long does nail polish, especially say on your toes, how long does something like that last? It depends on what you've been doing, of course, but we're talking like a week, or how long?
On the toes, it can last anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes longer.
Okay. So what is this stuff here? I mean, I'm looking at, like I say, it looks like a whirlpool bath here. So you fill it with warm water, I assume?
Yeah, we ask the clients how warm they like their water. We put a grapefruit and tea tree solution in there to soothe and take the stress out.
Grapefruit does?
Yes. The chair massages and heats up as well, so we ask if they'd like that, and we help take their socks and shoes off, get them all in there, get them soaking, and just relax and go from there.
How long does it take to do a pedicure then, typically? Half hour? Or?
The full pedicure can be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. Now, I've seen, I don't know if the Japanese do it. I think they're the ones that came out with it. The little fish, you put your feet in there, and they got little fish that eat away the dead skin on your feet, correct? We don't have that here.
No, State Board does not allow us to do that, and our clients are a little uneasy, so that's fine.
I was wondering how that would feel, those fish nibbling away on your feet.
Ticklish.
Maybe a little ticklish, okay. Okay, so anyhow, so we've done that. So we've done the manicure, we've done the pedicure, and then what are some other things that you do too? I read someplace on the website, are you the one that does like the body wraps there?
Yes.
What is a body wrap?
Body wrap, what I use here is a seaweed solution with algae in it for firming of the skin, detoxifying, and I paint it on. And
Now, is this like an entire body? Or really? Okay.
we have disposable undergarments that they can wear, or we let them know they can wear in their like a bathing suit. If they're comfortable in that. We paint the solution on them, and then I wrap them up in a solar heat blanket so they look like a baked potato.
Well, how long are they in that baked potato wrap then?
45 minutes. Wow. So we turn the lights down low. We have some nice soothing music. They relax, excuse me. Some women put a facial mask on to help with lines, wrinkles, hydration, and we let them cook.
Let them cook. And then you also do massage too, is that
Yes,
what I heard?
I do
So you
Swedish.
do a lot of, now what's the Swedish massage for those that don't know?
It is more for relaxation, offers hot towels. I do a scrub on the back, like we talked about with the hands. So just pull some stress out, bring you back to reality and all that.
And you offer what then, just neck and shoulders for a short session or longer session, be full body massage?
Correct, both. Whatever they want. If they want just their feet done, then we'll go ahead and accommodate that.
You've built up pretty strong hands and wrists over the years, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
That's what I do too. So yeah, strong wrists, strong hands. Yeah. Oh shoot. Well, anyhow, we're going to talk to some of the other co-workers here and find out a few other things here. But it's been Casey Widener, and Casey, geez, thanks for kind of filling us in, because I know a lot of people out there know some of this stuff, but there's also going to be a lot of people that this is kind of new for them, and you explained it very well. So thanks a lot. We'll be back in just a moment and talk to somebody else here as we continue our series on Tangles here on South Broadway. Next stylist we want to talk to here at Tangles is Ashley Philby. And Ashley, a little bit about your background and how long you've been in the business, and some general information about Ashley Philby.
I've been doing hair for about 4 years, and I grew up here in Greenville, graduated from Greenville, and I don't know.
Well, what got you into this? What made you decide you wanted to be a stylist? Is this something a lot of people say, oh, as a little kid I wanted to do this? Is that how it was with you, or you're a late bloomer?
Well, I would probably say in junior high is when I decided that I really liked to do hair. I was always messing with my own hair and, my friends' hair, and then it kind of went on from there all through high school. I always, messed with hair, and so that was when I really decided in high school is that I wanted to go to school to do hair.
So where'd you go to school then? Where'd you take your training?
I went to Creative Images, and that's in Vandalia. It's about a year. It was about a year and a half training with part-time because I worked also. So,
Now, where did you work someplace other than in the hair industry then before you got going? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit as we have people coming in and out here. Oh, here's Kathy Odell just showed up. You get your hair cut here? Kathy, you went on camera? No. Oh, you're getting your nails done. Okay. I just talked to Casey. Anyhow, let's get back to business here. So your clientele, do they come in and they pretty much, you know them, you have a lot of clients that have been with you for the entire time, or you always take new people in, or what?
I have a lot of people who are, my regulars who always come in, who've been loyal, and then I have a lot of new people too, which I always welcome new people. I mean, you can never have too many, so.
How many hours a week do you work then? I mean, you have set hours because there's like 6 or 7 of you that are in here, and you have plenty of chairs. Are all of you here at the same time once in a while or not?
No, I'm only here on Tuesday and Wednesdays part-time, and then I work at another job, the rest of the time for now. But so here, I'm here about 16 hours a week.
16 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that keeps you occupied then. Yeah, and let's talk about some of the products you carry here. I know Chris Eamer just came in from BSG, right? And so I assume he supplies a lot of your needs here. But I see some familiar names, even to me they're familiar, like Matrix, Kendra, things of that nature. We talked back to Casey about OPI and everything.
Yeah.
Matrix has been around a long time, right?
Oh yes, a long time.
It's one of the standards, if I'm not mistaken. So if somebody comes in and says, after they've gotten their hair done and everything, and they say, hey, I just need something to kind of keep my hair, what kind of sprays and gels and things that you recommend as far as like a Matrix line?
For a Matrix line, a lot of people, especially with wintertime, have problems with dry hair. And so for the Matrix, I always recommend the moisture hydrating shampoo. It works really well. And, and it kind of depends on their situation too. I have a lot of color clients, and a lot of, people want to keep their color fresh. And so, I may recommend the color care, so it all depends. But I usually recommend the moisture and the color lines the most.
What's 1 or 2 things you could tell people out there that really promotes good hair, not only hair growth, but just also texture and things like that? What are 1 or 2 things you could advise people on that they should be doing?
Keeping up with your hair trims. That helps.
No split ends kind of thing?
Yes, that really helps your hair grow. And, not using too much at-home color, box color. Always have a professional do your hair. That'll help with a lot.
In the long run, it's not only better for your hair, but probably better for your billfold because you have to correct mistakes they make at home.
Exactly. And the corrections can be quite costly.
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
That's what I've heard over some other places. And then Kendra's another popular line. I know that's been around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's a really good line also. I really enjoy the hairsprays, and they have a lot of thermal protectants for when you curl or flat iron your hair. And
a lot of people, I remember one time, of course, this was a long time ago when this was probably before you were born, but girls would take irons and straighten their hair out. They'd put them on ironing boards, That's way in the past, right? They don't do that anymore?
I would hope not, but yes, I have heard of people doing that before, and it makes me cringe because I'm like, oh.
Would you have many people that come in and, they use the big, rollers and stuff that are like this at night or not?
Yeah, some people do.
Does that to put, curls in their hair then, I assume?
Yeah, usually the hot rollers that help it set through the night, and then they take it out in the morning, and then it gives you some nice volume.
What's easier for you to work on, somebody with straight hair or somebody that's got a lot of curls and waves?
Usually the straight hair, but I'm always up for a challenge with the curly hair too, because people with curly hair have really nice, beautiful curls, but it's all.
Okay. Now, I like your hair a lot because you've got highlights, correct? Oh, yeah. So I've got a couple daughters that, of course, they're grown and gone, and my wife, but highlights, how tough is that to do?
It's not very tough at all.
Is that where you use these things called foils or something?
Yeah, that's a technique that we use when we highlight hair, is usually the foils, and it's not very difficult. However, if you're wanting it all depends on the situation. For someone who's colored their hair a lot and has a lot of dark color, it's hard sometimes to get a blonde. You know, when we lighten the hair, that can be difficult sometimes, but the technique itself isn't very hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to move on and talk to some other people here, but it's been Ashley Philby. And Ashley, thanks a lot. You did great. And we'll continue here as we continue our series, Our Town, with Main Street, Greenville. We'll be back in just a minute here as you watch The Wave, Channel 5. Going to talk with Crystal Wilt here at Tangles. And Crystal, a little bit about your background and then how long you've been doing this and things of that nature.
I have been doing hair almost 15 years this summer. I went to school during my high school at Miami Valley Career Technology Center. So I literally started before I turned 18.
Well, you did. Now, where did you go to high school then? I mean, I know you went CTC, but your home high school was?
Franklin Monroe.
Well, you're one of those FM people down there. How about those Jets? So you took the classes down at CTC, and so you got your license then even before you graduated.
I graduated high school, and then I think a week later took my state boards and got my certificate and started doing hair a couple weeks after that.
Let's talk about those state boards, and then also, after we talk about state boards, let's talk about you have to get so many hours every year or two to keep your licensure up. So let's talk about the state boards. How are those set up?
They're probably a lot different than when I went 15 years ago. I think everything's computerized now, but mine was pen and paper.
Okay.
You just go in and you take a model and a mannequin, and you just do hair procedures that we do in here, and they grade you and see if you're able to start doing hair on the chair.
So it's not only like a written exam, but then it's kind of a practical exam kind of thing also. How often is that given? I mean, are those just once or twice a year where they give those tests, or that every few months, or what? You know?
I'm not sure. I'm imagining that they probably do it maybe a couple times a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. And that can be taken any place around the state then? I assume you have to go to Columbus or something?
Yep, in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. Now, how about the continuing education units and so forth? You pick those up when you go to like trade shows or what?
Yes, we do hair shows. They offer them multiple times throughout the year. You do have to get your license renewed every 2 years. So I have an independent contractor's license, so I have to take classes for that also because I booth rent. So you have to do that, and you have to get your cosmetology license.
When you say booth rent, what's that mean?
That means I rent my space, and from kind of like renting an apartment, I rent my space here from the salon, and then I can use my own product and charge my own prices and more flexible hours.
Okay, and that works out pretty well for you then. Well, let's talk about a couple of the things you've got here. Now, I noticed Crystal just got done working on a couple little kids. When do people start bringing kids in for haircuts? I mean, they got to be at least able so they can't squirm around. I noticed these kids sat in their mom's laps too, right? About what age do most kids start coming in to get their hair cut?
Oh, goodness, I've cut baby's hair.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
You can bring your child in as whenever you decide they need a haircut.
Okay.
Yep.
And how tough is that a lot of times, especially the first time a kid's had their hair cut? Pretty squirmy, pretty wormy, right?
Yes, I've done quite a few haircuts walking around the salon here, just following them. A lot of suckers. Netflix helps on the iPad,
really?
yes.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of iffy. I have some 8-year-olds that are squirmy.
Yeah.
So
You get some kids come in and their parents have done the old bowl cut where they put the bowl over the head and trim around it, or not?
thank goodness, not lately.
I think in the old times, way back when. I think.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about some of the stuff. You got some curlers here. Are there different curlers for different style hair, or different holds of curl, or what?
Yes, the tighter the iron, the smaller the curl. So this one gives you a pretty, not super tight, but relatively more curly hair. And this one will give you more wavy.
Just because it's bigger across the head there. Yep. What's this thing right here?
A flat iron. This is your best friend if you want nice hair. You can do anything with it.
Like curl it or keep it straight, or?
That's how I did my hair today with a flat iron. You can do it straight, curly. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. It's pretty versatile.
For guys like me, does that help grow hair too?
Maybe. You could try.
Yeah, I've given up on that. I told somebody earlier I started growing more hair in my ears than I do on top of my head
We
anymore.
actually have shampoo that will help you.
Oh, really? I'll take a couple gallon buckets of it then. Hey, so what do we have here? This is just your typical, yeah, trimmers, yeah.
Buzz it off.
You usually on a course on backs and necks for both men and women then? Is that what you use that for?
This is actually for the actual hair, and these little guys are for the neck and around the ears, yeah.
Okay. Now, when a guy comes in, everybody gets their hair shampooed before you cut it or not?
Not necessarily. We usually ask because some people's on a time, restraint, or some people just spray it down and get me out of here.
Do you do mainly scissor cuts on men then? Or you just buzz them with one of these trimmers or clippers, whatever?
It depends. I mainly use both for the most part. Every once in a while I'll just use scissors or the clippers, but for the most part I do both. Scissors on top, clippers on the bottom.
And then what's some advice you'd use as far as like a hair dryer? Should everybody dry their hair after they get out of a shower and shampooing or not?
Not all the time. Especially on girls trying to grow their hair out, if you dry your hair every day, that's a lot of heat damage. So I'd say a couple times a week, that's what I do. But I mean, in the winter, we live in a pretty cold state, you're gonna have to dry your hair more often in the winter. But we have products to use that it protects your hair from the heat.
Yeah. So how much hairspray or hair gel should a person put on to kind of keep things in place on a halfway windy day?
That depends. I like hairspray. I use a lot.
Okay.
Some people don't like a lot of hairspray, but I say spray it up.
Just go after it, huh?
Go down.
Hey, I know we have one of your customers back here under a dryer. How long does a typical well, I know it depends on what the style is and how much hair they've got, but typically how long is a person in a dryer that way?
Ooh, anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes usually. And sometimes they have to go back again. Depends on what you're doing.
What's the purpose of that kind of dryer as opposed to just taking a blow dryer and...
That's in direct heat. You're getting it from little holes all directly around your head. So it's not just one shot of air in one section. We usually use it for color, or like she's getting rollers and teased out for a style, but usually for color. And
yeah. I know most guys that probably come and get a haircut, every 3 or 4 weeks. How about women?
Ooh, anywhere from 3 to 8 usually. Okay. It depends. Shorter hair, usually 3. Longer hair, usually 8 to 10.
You have some clients that come in and they're here like every week or two, either trim or this, that, and the other. 'Cause it seems to me like a lot of, and I hate to say older women, but women 70s, 80s, that's kind of what they've been used to maybe, right?
Under the dryer. Yeah. She's here every week getting her hair styled.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I kind of wondered about that. And then, hey, if people come in, you have a lot of people that come in and say, hey, boy, I like that style. I saw this picture of so-and-so movie star has been doing this. They bring stuff in, or you get on a computer or whatever and try to match that up. How tough's that to do?
It depends on your hair texture. We're beauticians, not magicians. So sometimes it's very easily achieved. Other times you kind of have to, let's say, switch it up a bit to work for your hair.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Yeah. Well, this has been Crystal Wilton. Crystal, thanks a lot for taking time out and kind of explaining some of this stuff. And we're going to come back here in just a little bit and kind of wrap things up as you watch the Our Town series as we take a look at the shops and stores up and down Broadway and the block either side here on the Wave Channel 5. And we'll be back in just a moment. Back here at Tangles with manager Alicia Denniston. Well, I'm thinking about, Alicia, the hours that you're open here on South Broadway.
We are closed Sundays and Mondays. Tuesdays, we're in here 9 to 7. Wednesdays, we have some girls come in 9 to 2 and some stay till 5. Thursdays are really late night. We're in here 9 to 8 p.m. Fridays, 9 to 5, and then Saturdays, 8 to 2.
So you're here quite a bit then. And your phone number here?
548-8329.
8329 for you to want to come in and sample the wares here at Tangles. You're welcoming a new clientele, right?
All the time, yeah, definitely.
Can a person just come in as a walk-in? If you have time, you work them in or not?
We appreciate appointments, but walk-ins are definitely welcome if we have a stylist or manicurist or whoever's open to do that, yeah.
Now let's talk just a second here. You also host, like you said, princess parties or something. You want to explain that and then other things you might have available to the public?
Yeah, we do princess parties for little girls ages, young. We just had one last weekend for 4-year-olds. 5 girls came in and they get to pick choices of either manicures, facials, little pedicures. They get makeup, hair, just little things like that, and we prepare them and make them look like princesses for the day. It's just a fun thing.
And then some other things then you also do for like wedding parties or proms and special events that way?
Yeah, we do prom hair, we do wedding hair. Yeah, we're set up for it all.
I got to tell you, it sounds a little funny, wedding hair, but I guess you women out there know what we're talking about, updos and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, hey, we want to talk just a second here. I see this year and for how many years in a row now?
For 8 years in a row, we got #1 Salon in Darke County. Last year, we stepped down a notch. We're back at #1 this year, and I've got #1 hairdresser in Darke County this year, and Casey, she got #1 nail tech, and then we also got 3rd in massage. So we did excellent.
Yeah. And that's in the Daily Advocate Reader's Choice Awards and so forth. They have a nice picture of everybody here, and then a lot of plaques here in the background. And so, Tangles, you've done quite well then over the years.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Well, this has been Alicia Denniston, the manager here, and we hope you folks enjoyed having a chance to meet some of the other personnel here, the employees and co-workers here at Tangles, and learned a little bit more about one of the businesses here on Broadway that make up part of downtown Greenville and is, the reason we do these shows here on the Our Town series. On behalf of videographer Nick Schmidt, I'm Alex Warner saying we'll see you next time with our next episode of Our Town. Good night, everybody.